What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Trey.
I'm your host, Chris.
And like I said, this your favorite show, Get a Bucket. And well, we love to talk a little bit about hoops. So hope you all enjoy the show. But we got a couple quarters to get into. You got anything else you want to say for?
Quarter one. Let's get it.
All right, that's a bet. Let's go ahead and get on into it, shall we?
DC the beat man. DC the beat man.
So epic.
So, we got the NBA off season happening. Um, also Sosu Water is more important than the NBA offseason. Okay, all right, cool. That's good branding right there. I like that. Shout out to Sosu Water. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty good, pretty casual, pretty clean. I'm gonna leave that right there just in case. But look, so we're gonna talk about here the Mavs. The Mavs, okay? Now, they recently acquired Klay Thompson.
Yes, sir.
What's more surprising to you, the fact that he chose the Mavs over the other teams, or such as the Lakers, or the fact that he left Golden State to begin with?
Um, I'll say him leaving at Golden State
Mm.
because we knew that the last year and this past year was going to be the last of probably one of the best eras that we will ever see back in the league. He asked for what he wanted, and Golden State wasn't going to give him that. So that's why he became a free agent. He was close to choosing LA, but Dallas was the better fit.
Mm.
You playing
I mean, I I I hear the better fit part. I look at both teams. I thought we both needed shooting, right? Clay on a down year brought what 38%
stand front
shooting,
three, yeah.
so that's pretty elite nowadays, especially. But in general, it's pretty good. So I thought we could have used some shooters, and maybe we'd be fine. We lost some people due to injuries,
We
especially on
did.
the defensive end, perimeter wise.
Hmm.
So for me, Clay choosing the Mavs over us was a little more surprising. His dad was a Laker, right? I understand the financial fit maybe helped out for Clay choosing Dallas over LA. I also read it like, you know what, he might believe more in Luca and Kyrie than
Then LeBron
Braun
and
and
AD.
AD. So for me, I thought that was a little surprising. Like maybe not, because they did just get to the finals. People did doubt, but not everybody. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Shout out. But again, I thought from that vantage point, I was a little surprised. But I think partly because of that was because, well, there were talks of Clay unfollowing the Warriors and all that stuff. Now, um, another gentleman
And matter of fact,
did leave.
and before we switch that, another reason why too, he wanted to get out of California and have a fresh start. Just like how I talked earlier. You need a you need a fresh start. You
Mm,
need a fresh start. So playing with Luca and Kyrie and coaching by J Kidd, you pretty much besides Derek Jones got it. Everybody else ain't coming back.
mm. Okay, okay. Now there was another trade, right? Or another signing, that took place. The 76ers actually acquired Paul George, okay? I don't know if it was that surprising that I don't know if it was that surprising he was going to leave the Clippers. I don't think it was. Now, my question is, do you take the 76ers seriously as a contender? And the reason why I'm asking that, there are question marks, unfortunately, around Joel Embiid in the playoffs. You got Paul George called playoff P, unfortunately for a negative reason. And I mean, I don't know if Tyrese Maxey is the guy on a championship team. So if you're looking for him to be or if he needs to be the 1A on a team eventually, I don't know if he's going to get that job done for you. Good player, though. I really love Tyrese Maxey. I wish we had gotten him. Do you believe the 76ers are a contender with Paul George on this squad now?
I would say yes, but under one condition and one condition only. Are we gonna have a healthy AJL?
I mean, so let
That's
so
that
so
is
no,
that
no, no. So I'm saying, let's say they are healthy. Let's say everybody is healthy going into playoffs, right?
mhm,
And as long as they're playing, they're healthy. You don't have to worry about anybody getting injured.
mhm.
Are they beating the Bucks for you? Are they beating? I mean, the Heat are kind of tricky right now. But you can throw in the Heat just because of history. Are they beating the Heat? Are they beating the Celtics? Are they beating the Knicks? Are they beating those teams?
Bucks, yes. Miami, yes. A healthy New York and a healthy Boston, probably not.
Okay, okay. I okay. I think they can. I give them like a if they're healthy, I think it's a game 7 series. The
With
problem
who?
is, I mean, with any team, the problem, I mean, 'cause they don't have the Knicks don't have anybody really to stop Joel Embiid. You have to double team, which means you have to kick out. And now you got Paul George, Tyrese Max can score. You got Kelly Oubre who can score, Eric Gordon who can score. And then from a defensive standpoint, everybody who I just listed off can at least show effort on the defensive end. And you got to funnel, and you can funnel them to Joel Embiid. So as long as he's healthy, I do think they can actually beat every team listed. Because you have to tell me anybody who's capable of stopping Joel Embiid. Brook Lopez, he's getting a little older. Giannis, okay, but now he's going to be a little tired. How does that affect him on the offensive end? And then you still got Paul George. So now their third option has to match Paul George, and that's Chris Middleton. I don't think that's going to happen. So again, I think there is a world where the Bucks actually are competing for that contending spot
Mhm.
with them. I do have trepidation though. Like if Paul George can play at the third option instead of the second option, great, because that takes a lot of pressure off PG. I think PG can focus on defense. That lets Tyrese Maxey focus on offense like he's been doing. So I think PG in that third option works wonders. If PG's in that second or first option, because I don't necessarily believe in Paul George as the guy the way some people might. But talent wise, he there. Just not the player I don't believe in. But
I
I mean,
feel like I said I feel like him being the a third option on that team is the best fit for him. Truthfully, it is because one name that you said and people has been not been talking about him for like a minute. Eric Gordon, who is a sniper who can start with you, start for you, and he can come off the bench. So could he be that fourth option? Who knows? But like they got pieces where they can make a legitimate threat to Boston.
mm, okay, okay. Really quickly, just one answer, no real details. 'Cause we've talked about both players enough. Which signing was bigger for you, at least, or putting their team in more of a contention spot?
Clay.
Okay, I sort of agree. Um, just because yeah, I sort of agree as well. So okay, all right. Well, I mean, I know y'all just heard the buzzer end not too long ago. So what we're gonna do, ladies and gentlemen, take a quick little hiatus, pay some bills. But when we come back, we got more hoops to talk about. So hope you all enjoy it, and we'll be right back.
The I'm Perfectly Made Foundation believes that routine screenings can save lives and that access to these services should not be a barrier. Our mission is to promote eye health education, free eye exams, free eye screenings, and free glasses to our communities with the focus of highlighting early detection. The I'm Perfectly Made Foundation also gives individuals with low vision and blindness the opportunities to be a part of certain community events regardless of visual impairments.
All right. So look, Chris,
Mhm.
OKC just keeps impressing folks, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, the Spurs, they kind of trying to build for their future, right? OKC got Isaiah Hartenstein, and the Spurs acquired Chris Paul,
The
the
point
point
guard.
guard. You know what I'm saying? Which signing was a bigger deal for you?
Yes, I'm torn, but I'm slightly leading OKC.
Okay, okay. What's your main reason why?
They needed another big man
Mm,
to help out Chet. So now they can go Chet at the 4 and Hartenstein, Isaiah at the 5 sometimes. But that's a piece like they really needed, and that would get them over the hump.
mm.
But they would still be a t- a, p- a general manager favorite to go to the NBA Finals this year.
See, OKC was missing just a little bit last year. One of the things was experience. They got that.
They
You can
definitely got that.
always get more experience though. So I'm not saying they have everything they need, right? But I do think acquiring Isaiah Hartenstein does help you out defensively from the center position. Check can play the 4. Now you have 2 players 6'11" and above. That's always helpful. You got length too. Um, I do question if Hartenstein can guard Jokic. So let's say they do match up. I'm curious how that goes. That's going to be a wonderful series. Does that also help you out against a team like the Mavs? Because I mean, they did out rebound you still. So I mean, does he out rebound Lively? We'll see. Like that. That'll be
Gafford,
interesting.
Gafford.
I mean, we'll see who's on the Mavs. But like again, I think that's an interesting matchup. So he definitely helps them out. I'm thinking CP3 because on this Spurs team, what folks aren't realizing, they're actually creeping up to the play-in spot, possibly sooner than what we're realizing, right? When Chris Paul went to the Thunder, a lot of people thought his career was over. He's about to retire soon. And in fact, Buddy was in like what top 5 of the MVP
MVP.
voting. So my thing is, I I mean, if he's in the MVP discussion this year, cool. A lot of that would have to do with Victor Wembanyama,
Wembanyama.
but we're also making sure that Victor is one continuing a positive growth, but then also the players around him too. Whether they keep someone like a Trey Jones, that's up for discussion. But let's say, who they get? Ron Holland? Like, oh no, I'm sorry. They got
Castle.
yeah, Castle. So let's say Stephon Castle sits up here and is getting tutored by Chris Paul. Well, maybe if it worked out for Shea, maybe he can help bring out something in Castle as well. So again, I think from a development standpoint, adding Chris Paul to that team is a benefit. So for me, I'm going to say Chris Paul because I think the Spurs again are looking at the future and saying, okay, well, we want to trend in the right direction, and they're going at the right pace. I think they're not trying to force it. And believe it or not, if they sneak into the play-in this year, I'm not going to be surprised. Like a 10th seed, I might not be that surprised. So
Piggyback on it was just on our phone call earlier. I did say that they can be a sneaky playing team if everybody stays healthy and continue to grow.
mhm, they'd be, and on top of that too, we're putting Chris Paul with Greg Popovich. So let's say,
That is a hand in glove fit.
and my thing is this: I was telling folks, what happens if Paul George gets ahead of the curve and pairs with Victor Wembanyama? You have your one option, you're the 2 option. Chris Paul could have been the 3rd option. He covers up so many deficiencies. Respectfully, if you get a couple plug and play guys, that team could have been a championship team respectfully as soon as next season, maybe realistically, or best case, 2 seasons from now. I think that you could rattle off 2 because Buddy in limited time like gave almost 20 and 10. I think gave 20 and 10 at that point in time.
Hmm.
And they ramped him up in more minutes and he was getting even more production.
Hmm.
So I'm just saying stars may want to look at the Spurs and joining them because we could be talking about Chris Paul winning his first ring with Victor Wembanyama, and that'd be kind of interesting. He
Okay.
got to play for a while, but I ain't gonna, I don't want to stop you, but the buzzer did kind of go.
We did.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Last time we kind of got a technical. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
Last
no.
time. I'm not trying to get another one. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, preserve mine. But we'll come back, take a quick little hiatus, pay some bills, all that good stuff, right? Y'all know how this goes. We got more hoops to talk about, so we will definitely be right back after a moment from our sponsors.
Hooping is an activity that can be enjoyed by all. It's a team game about getting and stopping buckets. Everyone's always rushing to the gold. Well, make sure to rush and watch Team Gold Rush, one of the best teams in the Special Olympics of Virginia. Team Gold Rush even has former NBA All-Star participants on the team. Clearly, they've struck gold. Ready to suit up and practice? I know. We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Practice still makes perfect. So when the opponent starts hitting their shots, Team Gold Rush can bounce back due to their training. Remember, offense sells tickets and defense wins championships. Watch us get a bucket and rush for the gold. We aim to be that gold standard. So want a team where you can win and have fun? Team Gold Rush is your number one.
All right. So Chris, listen,
Yes, sir.
the Indiana Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
They got James Wiseman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the Detroit Pistons. They lost Joe Harris,
Forgot to buy us.
but then got Tobias Harris. You got to keep a Harris on deck, right? At least in Detroit. He also spun the block because it's his second time on Detroit.
Yes.
Which signing means more to you?
Pacers. Pacers. Pacers.
Why do you say Pacers?
They can let my man play some damn ball. Like he's in a perfect set. You got a running gun coach and Rick. You got one of the best passers in the game and Halliburton. You playing with one of the best shot blocking and pick and pop man and Miles Turner. You playing with a glue guy in Pascal who they just signed back and who is also a champion. And you're gonna have a man from Arizona coming back, and Benedict. You got all them pieces back, and plus you sign a 7-footer that can run, that can rebound and shot block. Easy to Pistons. I mean, easy to Pacers. Easy to Pacers.
So hear me out, right? I hear you on ability. I've been told before that Tobias Harris is one of the most professional players in basketball. Now, James Wiseman, we're talking about ability, ladies and gentlemen. 7-footer who is mobile. He actually has some skill on the offensive end. Still a little raw, but I think you can actually cultivate him. He's a wonderful person to learn under Miles Turner. But when I'm looking at Tobias Harris, again, spinning the block to go back to Detroit, go get a bucket. I ain't mad at that. Bogdanovich, I said, would have been a good vet for them, or was a good bet for them because he could give them 20 points a game and also provide leadership, some veteran presence. Tobias Harris can do that. I think he has the cachet to do that. Now, you want to talk about his production in the playoffs and all this other crap? Cool, I hear you. You got to talk about the man in the playoffs, though, which is something Detroit has not been in quite some time. So I at least think from a leadership perspective, from a motivation perspective, from a get your team and not have a 22 plus losing streak perspective, Tobias Harris might have to be my answer for this one, brother. But again, if we're talking ability, James Wiseman right now has more potential than Tobias Harris. But if we're talking production, James Wiseman will not consistently get me 15 to 20 points with 6 rebounds, maybe 8, and then 2 to 4 assists, maybe 3. Emphasis on the tree. So I got to go Toby on this one.
Okay. Would you think can him, Paige, and Ivy work together? You
I
got
think
yourself a
yes.
brand new
I
coach.
think I think yes. You also have Jalen Duran there. So you have multiple bodies like Cade 6'7", 6'8", Tobias is 6'8", Duran is 6'11". Like we have height on the squad. Now
And,
Jalen,
and I forgot about my boy Thompson.
well, he possibly is coming off the bench, but let's throw him in the starting unit too. And then you got here, well, I'd like a shooter if possible. But then you got Jaden Ivey as well, or maybe Jaden come off the bench. Either way, you have a very versatile squad right there. And again, Toby fits perfectly because all those boys are young. Toby could easily come in and talk to Kate. Listen, bro, you have hella skill. Let's cultivate this properly. We have potential to get to the playoffs. I thought they were on the same track as the Rockets last season. Made a whole video about it. Still kind of feel the same way. But the Rockets could be a little further along. That could be a shout out to Ime Udoka, better coaching. It helps. Coaching helps. But again, the Pistons, good squad. I ain't mad at them. I think Toby is going to do well for them. And barring injury, I like the Pistons. I do. They're a young squad. I like them. But the buzzer went off, unfortunately. So y'all definitely comment who y'all liking, what signing y'all liking. But we got to take a quick hiatus. This time we actually don't have to pay bills. You know, we actually ahead this time right now. So, but when we come back, we got more hoops to talk about. So, we'll be back after a moment from our sponsors.
Sports is one of the few things that genuinely connects us together. Whether with coworkers, friends, family, we all love the entertainment. Well, here on Get a Bucket, my goal is to talk about sports and its cultural impact. The WNBA, for example. The WNBA is loads of entertainment, from the new rookies battling, displaying their skill sets, and preparing to take the league by storm, to the titans and the MVPs of the league clashing for battles we'll always remember. From imagining the soon-to-be possibilities, to admiring and treasuring the finales. Get a Bucket is a platform where other sports analysts, hoopers, coaches, and fans of the show come and talk about the WNBA, both negatives and positives. So if you haven't, take a quick peek. At the very least, you'll have a good time. Remember, sports is one of the few things that genuinely connects us together. So please, tune in and stay connected.
All right. So, Chris, right?
Yes, sir. Talk to me.
We got here 2 teams. Jason Tatum
Mm-hmm.
and Donovan Mitchell. They both signed with the Celtics, of course, for Jason Tatum, and then the Cavs for Donovan Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
But Jason Tatum got 5 years and 314 M's, right? That's $1 million, ladies and gentlemen. And well, Donovan Mitchell got 3 years, 150.3 M's. That's $1 million again, if y'all weren't listening. Who has the most pressure? Which athlete? Which athlete? Not team. Athlete.
Well, which athlete has
Yeah.
the most pressure?
Jason Tatum or Jalen Brown?
I will definitely would say Donovan Mitchell. I would definitely say Donovan Mitchell
Why you say Donovan out of curiosity?
because Tatum already got his ring. Now the next player that they want to see a ring is a Spider. You forced yourself out of Utah. You definitely did force yourself out of Utah. Now you in Cleveland. You got a good team. I'm just saying, like, unless I say, unless you want to tell me something otherwise, definitely I got to say Spider.
So my answer is Jason Tatum, ladies and gentlemen. Reason why I say JT is the simple. He got paid and he won a championship, but didn't win Finals MVP. So the rest of his career, like a lot of folks are trying to say Jason Tatum's overrated. Jason Tatum's been on a good team. Jason Tatum can't be the guy. Well, Jason Tatum right now has the highest contract in league history. Point in time, of course, at this damn rate, somebody gonna surpass him before long. But until that time, shout out Anthony Edwards. Until that time, he got that nod. So that brings pressure. And if you get to the championship again, it's literally championship or bust for them every single season from here on out. So that breeds pressure, immense pressure. And again, you didn't win the finals MVP. I know how people talked about Steph Curry when he didn't win finals MVP. That to me was a little pressure. You remove that pressure because you bring in KD. He's technically supposed to be the Kevin Durant of this team. That's how folks kind of view him. He's there. He's the Celtics' best player. That's how folks view him. So that brings pressure. With Donovan Mitchell, respectfully, I call you a shaky star because at 6'1", I don't believe you're going to get the job done when you have another guard at 6'1". Your team is solid, but I think their team works best when Evan Mobley snaps. So for me, more pressure is on Jason Tatum because I don't know if folks expect Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs to actually win a championship. They do with the Boston Celtics and Jason Tatum. They expect greatness out of them. So I put pressure on them.
Okay. Who do you feel, which person would you feel like you could build a team around?
Tricky. So there are some days where I feel like Donovan Mitchell really is a problem. And he's a really good player too. I'm not trying to act like he's trash, right? When I say shaky star again, it's just the person who gets you over the hump from a champion perspective. I don't think you can do that 6'1" with another 6'1" guard. If you don't believe me, Portland couldn't, right? Um, and CJ 6'4", but I would say JT
Same,
because again,
same.
now coming into the NBA, again, I would have said Jason Tatum as well. Early on into their careers, I believe folks might have said Donovan Mitchell. But over the last maybe 3 seasons now, I'm gonna say I comfortably say Jason Tatum. And that's including leadership, intangibles, game, all of that. But I do see how Buddy blends in with the team, not because he needs to, but because he can. That's what they need from him. So I do see that in him.
I would say Jason Tatum pretty much if for the same reasons.
Hmm.
Now, when he did get drafted, everybody said, "Oh, Kuzma was gonna be better than Jason Tatum." Well, look what just happened here. Just want to keep it a buck.
Nowhere close.
Nowhere near damn close.
I mean, y'all should have known that. Y'all know he came from good stock.
Fly good stuff. But no, like all jokes aside, like I knew Tatum was going to be the best player in the draft class. Not even close. The moment that he got drafted and got put to a good situation, we knew like once once they get clicking, it was going to be a wrap.
Mm, yeah, they like yeah. I mean, I don't really have much else to say. Like the Celtics again, they have high expectations. Jason Tatum has more pressure. Um, he's the better player for me. I would rather build my team around him. I mean, it is what it is. Now, if Donovan Mitchell was 6'6", same attributes, same skill set, same game, much different discussion. I'm talking about that man in the top 5 without question. But you know, we it ain't a real thing, so we can't really talk about it too much. But unfortunately, the buzzer did go off. So, but that was a good quarter, good game. Um, so it is what it is. But ladies and gentlemen, please comment what you thought below. I wonder who you have is having more pressure, and then also who would you want to build your team around, Jason Tatum or Donovan Mitchell? But that concludes the end of the show. So hope you all enjoyed. Do you have anything you want to say before we close up shop?
No, so I don't. Vice versa to you.
Nah, I'm cooling. I'm cooling. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all have enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell anybody who's anybody about the show. My name is Trey.
Your boy Chris.
We're the host of Get a Bucket. Hope you all have a good one.
Take care.
Oh, I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I gotta go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here, too.